Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Tonight's topic is wildfire smoke danger. All right, and before we meet the group, I'd like to remind everybody, please share this out because this is something that affects everybody everywhere in the United States, a lot more than people think. So let's drop down in here. And oh, Dave's hiding. And so Uncle Al's not going to be with us. He's taking time off, 2 weeks off, because tomorrow he goes in for surgery on one of his eyes. So he's going to be out for a couple weeks, not doing any videos. And he said the smoke and stuff down there in by Australia where he's at is like we got Dr. Josh, and of course, Jason YouTube player. He's not bad, but not to say it's fun. It's well here.
Hey, Gil.
Yeah.
Gil.
Yeah.
Your audio stinks, dude.
It's not going up.
Yeah, it's cutting in and out.
Cutting in and out.
It's awful muffled.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a different camera set up for here with a microphone set up. So if I scoot a little closer.
There you go.
All right, yeah. All right. So I have to lean forward, get closer to it. And of course, it doesn't make it hard to see everything when my face is right up in the camera. All righty. So Keith Cronk was in here half an hour early saying, let's roll. Let's see what else we got here coming in here. Julie Evans is here. And CB's in the house. Trying to catch up everybody. Everyone's saying hi. Kaylin Strain is here. And Courtney's husband's here. That's Dustin. Frontier Survival, Garden State Gardener. Fishes and Loaves Life is here. That's Carol. Who else we got here? I said Frontier Survival, right? Okay. Courtney's in the house. Wide Family Farm. And trying to go through. Yeah, let's see here. I just got to talk extra loud for the stupid microphone. All righty. So tonight we are talking about smoke hazard from the wildfires. And we're going to show some slides here on how they affects the entire country. But everyone, understand this. It probably affects you a lot more than what you think. And when we give out some numbers and stuff from researchers, it's probably going to shock you. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the slideshow here. Yeah, I'm in California. I have a totally different setup here with my stuff. So everything's a little bit different for me than I'm normally used to. All right, so wildfire smoke danger. This is something really big. Jay's in the house now. So if you see a fire, you don't want to go play in the smoke. I've actually seen some videos on YouTube where people have gone into the smoke. Oh, wow, look how smoky it is around here. Bruce, what do you think about those people?
Hey, I've got a built-up natural immunity to most of it, so I'm good. Hey, you suck diesel smoke for 30 years. That stuff right there don't bother you as much.
Either that or it's going to hit you twice as hard and knock you down.
That doesn't take much in this day and age.
Yeah. All right, Viper's in the house.
Yeah, I don't have any immunity built up because when we fight wildfires, wind's at our back. So when you're actually fighting a wildfire as a firefighter, wind's blowing by you, you don't have to worry about the smoke. So I don't know what it smells like. Never been there.
All right. And as you can see from this picture, how smoke travels, and it travels a lot farther than most people think. And if you're in a little valley, for some reason, it likes to settle in there and choke everybody out. All right, this is a NASA image thing, and this is showing how the jet stream fluctuates and moves around. So it's never in the same place twice. If you look on the left side of it, where am I? Over there. See our cursor trying to move up and down. Up above Washington there, you see how it's making a counterclockwise swirl. But if you look down in the bottom left as well, you can see it's starting to form a swirl now. You get a swirl going where it's going to start throwing stuff back up onto the through Baja and that. And here, watch this one. It'll do the same thing down there. All of a sudden, it turns. At the very last, it'll turn here right about now, and it turns and throws the stuff back up towards Baja and stuff. And so the weather pattern really moves smoke around in ways that most people don't realize. All right, this is just a still one, so you can see how bad it is. Now, what this stuff down off the coast was being sucked off, and it's going to be coming back. But you can see how it's blowing it from California up through Oregon into Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, Kansas, Wyoming, Colorado, and it's heading down towards the rest of the United States. Come on, mouse, get back over there. There we go. And this is just a black carbon density chronograph type thing they did, and they overlaid a map over it showing where the smoke is the thickest and nastiest. And this is from a channel back, I believe it was in Chicago, showing how they were getting hit with the smoke from the California fires. And another news station showing how it blows it up and around.
Hey, Tasha.
Huh?
Tasha's in the house.
Tasha's here. Prep for it. Woo. And so even though there's stuff swirling off down there in the bottom left, off in the ocean there, you're still getting a lot of stuff moving up and around, and it comes back in again from the bottom. And this is just another news thing was showing how the smoke patterns are moving. You notice there's a bunch of different shaded ones there. And that's how the jet stream is changing and pushing stuff around. Oh, wrong way, sorry. Wrong button. And here really kind of points out that sometimes the jet stream splits it. And you'll get stuff going to the north and you get stuff going to the south coming across. And this one here, folks, this smoke here is leaving across Canada and Nova Scotia and heading over towards Greenland, England, and Europe.
Equal opportunity. We share with everybody.
Yeah, we share with everybody. We share our money with them. We'll share our smoke with them too. And this one here is the recent current Dixie fire in Northern California, the bootleg fire in Oregon, and the Granite Pass complex fire up in northern Idaho into Montana. And that was, that leads us to the question. So is this in your future? Unfortunately, as we get into some of the information here, this is in the future for everybody in the United States getting smoked out. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that out for a second. Let's drop this down as I change stuff up there. Drop that one down, and I need to put up this one here. And before I get into the one article, which I knew there was some stuff going on, but I got an article, a news article blog thing I get all the time, and they talked about it. But I want to show something else. Where is it? There it is. Okay, get this up and running here. Okay, let me put this up for you. Bingo. So this is the jet stream currents here. Let's try and get this to go up a little bit. Come on, there we go. And this covers about 10 days. So I'm going to hit the play button here, and it goes kind of fast. So just watch how fast this changes, and it runs. You'll see the dates down at the bottom there change in time as it goes. You can see the swirliness and how stuff moves around every which way. So yeah, it moves up, down, around, and the jet stream is never the same. And it just, so if you think, oh, I'm down in Louisiana, I'm not going to get anything, and it does, it swirls around and it drops stuff on Louisiana, right? Let's see, it rolls around, up and around, and stuff kicks around, circles around it right now. And there's not much moisture swirling around it, but you are getting the air swirling around off of it there. So, even Florida gets it, and everyone else is, stuff goes out into the ocean a little bit and comes back. All right, so let me go ahead and pull that off. All right. All right, so I'm going to hit this some highlights from the article. Actually, let me go ahead and pop that off. Copy this. So I'm going to put in the link, and I'm in the chat here, if this will even go in.
Hey, Mitz.
It's really long. It's probably not going to go.
It looks like it did.
It took up multiple things. It's so long. Okay. So let me just show it to you here, and you guys can go hunt it down. It's Emergency Essentials. BePrepared.com has a blog, and the blog you want to look for is America's Newest Natural Disaster. And the question I asked is, why is nobody talking about this? All right, so
because it doesn't fit their narrative.
Yeah, and let me pull up where is it here? There we go. So when I'm looking up like this, in California, I got monitor up high and monitor in front of me, not side by side. So, all right. So the person writing the article has allergies, and she was complaining about why, she expects allergies to hit, and why there was far worse outbreak of allergies for her than she's ever had. And she started looking into it, and she says she came to find out that the common denominator wasn't pollen, mold, or any of the usual allergy suspects. It was something more toxic. It was wildfire smoke. And let's see here. Where's there? Okay, so the number of large wildfires, guys, this is the data here. So you may want, I don't want to write this down or just think about it, has doubled between 1984 and 2015. Since 2015, there have been 100 more fires each year than the year before. So basically for 2020, that's 500 more fires than there were in 2015. Hey, Mitz. Mitz is in the house. And there's a gentleman, Marshall Burke of Stanford University, in this article puts out, nearly all the media focuses attention on the wildfires of the people there losing property and lives directly in harm's way. While these are important impacts, they are likely only a small portion of the overall social impact of wildfire smoke. He says, quote, "Our research suggests that many more people perish from smoke exposure during large fire events than perish directly from the fire.
Hey, Maccabeus.
And many more are made just sick." So, and this isn't those. This some of this is close, but some of them are a lot farther away. And then, what was it? What's the other one here? The data. Okay. A UC Merced wildfire scientist, John Abeluscu. I'm sorry, it's a really weird spell. I've never seen anything like it. He says that the alignment of ingredients for fire seasons like this past year are becoming more common, and we should expect and prepare for similar events in years moving forward. And so that trend of the 100 fires more each year is going to keep on. And one of the things they talk about, wildfires versus regular smog. The particles in wildfire smoke are up to 10 times more harmful than car exhaust. So Dave, all that car exhaust you sucked up driving trucks, this stuff's worse. Let's see here. Okay, according to researchers at UC San Diego, some affected regions, hospitalizations for respiratory illness go up 10%. Tiny particles in the wildfire smoke are up to 10 times more harmful to humans than other sources. And these particles there are certain pollutants called PM 2.5 particles that are so small the body has no way to get rid of them. They're tiny enough to sink directly through your skin and into your lungs and heart, and through your blood. These particles cause inflammation in the lungs, weaken the immune system, complicate heart conditions, set off allergic reactions, destroy healthy cells, and can give you cancer. The bottom line is more wildfires each year means more smoke and means more particles in the air. More data here. In 2010, wildfire smoke accounted for just 10% of PM 2.5 particles. In 2020, that number doubled to 25%. In the West, where the smoke is the worst in the country, it made up around 50%. So, catch down here. Anyways, guys, I gave you how you can get to that article, that blog. So you may want to go read it. They got a lot of, quoting a lot of scientists in here. Now, when the air is bad outside, do your best to stay indoors, but it's no fun. But if you got to go outside, guess what they tell you to wear? Everyone's going to go, woo! An N95 mask. Not a simple face covering, not a surgical mask, those little blue ones.
Yeah, not these. These don't work.
Yeah, not those. They're talking about the N95. The ones that actually, what it actually says on the box, they don't call them mask. They call it respirators. And that is the one here. Not the loops around the ear, the loops around the back of the head. And it says right on it, NIOSH N95, not KN95, which is the Chinese one, N95, and has the NIOSH standards on it. So I'm going to, I just go. Here's the other thing. They say what you can do to help your house out. Get HEPA filters for your AC system. And that way, when you're running it, it's pulling out the particles as it circulates the air in your house. And if your AC system has a fresh air draw, turn it off. Recycle the air inside. That way you can get more of the particles out. If you have a newer car that has a cabin air filter, get the cheap little filter that comes with, replaced with a HEPA filter. That's HEPA, HEPA filter. And, so if you're driving on the road, roll up your windows, turn on the recycle in the car, and get all those particles out.
If you folks want a demonstration of what California's fires are mainly comprised of, which a lot of it is pine fire, which goes up quickly and burns forever, take a piece of fat wood, go outside, start it up with a torch, and step back when it's nice and calm outside and watch that black smoke. And as it settles, you'll see little tendrils of black particles falling to the ground. That's the same thing that's going in the air by the thousands of particles per minute. Okay, that's mainly what causes the biggest issue, is that black, what?
Yeah.
And when it's put up in such a volume, it floats. And then when it rains, it comes down and it creates even more nasty crap. So just be mindful of what you're doing outside, especially here in Ohio where I'm at. It misses me most of the time. But after watching that little cycle that he showed earlier, I expect to hit about 4 days in the next 2 weeks where we're going to have it pretty heavy here where I live. Yeah. And during those 4 days, the windows will be closed, which is going to make it even worse in here. And we're going to just be mindful of it.
All right. There was shoot. I bet I can't find it now either.
Yes, Keith, it does.
My cousin posted something for me. I'm trying to find it here. I didn't lose it.
Hey, Harold.
There's a fire going on right now. It begins with a C. Can't remember the name of that particular fire, but it's close to where she has friends and stuff, and she was tracking it. And yesterday evening, it had burned 750 acres. This morning, when she posted on Facebook about it, overnight it went from 750 acres to 6,500 acres, nearly 10 times. And so they're just putting out a lot of stuff here, but I can't find it. It's gone, so I'm just going to ignore that. One of the things here that most people don't realize, and those that get told it, of certain mindsets go, I don't believe it, I don't believe it. And Dave kind of mentioned it a little bit with the fat wood. Guys,
well,
how you doing? Any organic material, whether it's wood, leaves, grasses, your garden plants, any organic material, when it smolders, puts off carcinogens. So whether it's that stuff or, sorry Dave, tobacco, it puts off carcinogens. Now, when the fires are really hot and burning clean, you don't see much smoke. But when they're all smoky and stuff, there's not everything's burning clean. You're getting a boatload of that. Hey, kicking it with Harold and friends. And so you're getting a lot in that smoke. You're getting a lot of carcinogens. And part of that carcinogens are those small PM 2.5 particles. All righty. So, anybody in the side chat, you have questions?
Well, you had a question. You had a question, and it was from Jay. And so, give me a second here to click the right clicky clicks, and we'll do that one that way. And there. Let me know when you're showing it.
Okay, I'm going to show it up here right now.
Okay.
I see this question in Siberia, yeah.
All right. There, as you look right here, there's Siberia, part of it. This is what they're focusing on. If you look at their smoke pattern, it is going due north, which means it's coming over the top. And if you look at the weather pattern, I don't have it pulled up, but the jet stream has a circle around the very top of the globe. And we're coming into winter months, which means it's going to start increasing that circle around the top. And the circle down here at the bottom is going to slow down. It's going to elongate. It's going to have little shoots that come up here around Australia and Cape of Good Hope. But right now, it's drifting up toward Arctic. As we move through winter and this doesn't get under control, it will start... see if I can phrase this correctly. It's going to start affecting Alaska, Greenland, and Iceland. I don't see, unless our jet stream does a major 180 as far as its normal tendencies, I don't see what's coming out of Siberia affecting the lower part, down here with us. Right. It's definitely going to be affecting the northern, I'd say 6 to 8% of the globe. Now, that's not the biggest thing, though. Siberian wildfires dwarf all others on the earth combined at this moment.
Yeah.
with over 10 million acres burning. So right now, Siberia is not a threat to us unless the jet stream come about a month and a half from now does some flaky voodoo dance up north and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do.
The way the jet stream has been going on, it doesn't even have to wait that long.
Well, but the thing is, there's two currents
Yeah.
in the wintertime. The North Pole and South Pole, as they currently set, Arctic and Antarctic, they swap during the seasons.
Yeah.
So during the winter months, the Arctic is almost a perfect circle. Not quite, but almost perfect. And the one down south and around the Antarctic has got kind of a little fingers that poke out of it once in a while, if you will.
Yeah.
Come spring, they switch.
Right.
Now, if those fires are still going this coming spring and they're not under control in any way, shape, or form, then yes, the smoke from that will start hitting like Washington State, Oregon, and Idaho, places like that.
There are sometimes, though, even in the wintertime, that's perfect circular one going around.
Hey, Howie.
All of a sudden, as Uncle Al likes to call it, it turns into a washing machine for a couple days. And he calls it washing machine weather. And let's see if I can. Yeah, okay, let's switch here to this one.
Don't do it, Jay. Don't do it.
And see, the lines here come down every now and then, even in the wintertime. All of a sudden, it'll bring everything up in Canada and there.
Right, that's the normal jet stream.
Yeah,
I'm talking the Arctic stream.
Yeah, every now and then
that
happens in wintertime too, and not all the time. Like maybe once a month, we'll get a shot like that, and that's when we really get the nasty stuff here in Idaho, and even that's also when we get the freezing weather down here, down where I'm at right now in California by San Francisco. When that happens in January, we'll get one of those in January, and that's when we get the super cold. But yeah, for the most part, it goes around. It stays up above just a little bit. And every now and then it goes, and it's like, whoa, what the hell was that? All right, so we're back here. So, Bruce.
Yes, sir.
You're the expert.
You're the one that's done a lot of, firefighting and have some fun times doing all this crap. What's your opinion on stuff I've said so far?
Everything rolls true with what they taught us because we have to go through a special class in order to be deployable throughout the nation. And we did that class in Pennsylvania when I was still there. And everything you're saying is exactly what they were telling us. However, from the perspective of fighting a brush fire, you never want to be in the smoke section of the fire. That's a very bad place to be. If you're in the smoke section, that means the fire is burning towards you, and you never want to be in a position where the fire is burning towards you. You always want to have burnt land behind you with the wind behind you so that you're following the fire and putting it out that way, not trying to do it from the front, because that's when you get into really bad situations. It's most of the brush fire stuff. It's just you're out there digging dirt and making fire breaks. That's a big part of it. If you have some brush trucks around, you can run out there and get into it and try and knock it down a little, but fire breaks are normally what do the trick and actually contain the fire, and then you're able to hit it with the air tankers and things like that.
Yeah, I remember back, this before I got married, so we're talking 40 years ago, back when I was in my early 20s. I was working for a company called W&W Construction, and the mountain there in Contra Costa County, Mount Diablo, which is the largest, peak with footprint out for ham radio. You can get, covered, a good size, but it's one of the big peaks there. And it went up, and they were calling, the state and the county were calling all the construction guys they could to rent their dozers to try to put fire breaks in between the fire and down at the foot of the hill where you had the communities like Brentwood, Clayton, some of the other ones around there to try to keep it from coming down. Blackhawk, which is where all the expensive Bentleys and Rolls Royces are, and try to protect these areas and stuff. Try to keep it under control. And we sent two of our dozers up there with the operators, and these guys were up there for about 12 hours. And when they came back, they said they weren't going back, and they were just blowing snot that was all black out of their noses and stuff. They said they weren't providing them with any sort of masks or anything else up there. So, yeah, these guys just said, nope, that's it. We're not going back because they're not giving us safety equipment. And they said that it was just really bad. And both of them wound up calling off sick for the next couple of days because, they couldn't breathe right.
Well, the fun part's when you actually go into structure fires and come out, you have an SCBA on. Mm-hmm. And normally you're in there for the full length of your bottle, which is 45 minutes, because when you're fighting a structure fire inside, you have 500 or 600 degrees Fahrenheit hitting your gear. You're sweating like a pig inside. Your face gets sunburned. And when you walk out of the structure, that's what you do. You just hit your nose and black comes out. And that's with the SCBA on. So imagine what would happen if we didn't have that on. And that even in training fires where we would just burn hay, exact same thing. You can ask my wife, come home after doing a training burn somewhere. And yeah.
For those who don't know what SCBA is, it's self-contained breathing apparatus.
Yep. And the funny thing is they didn't think about this at the fire academy, but they had a machine that would actually refill the bottle. So when we're doing a training burn at one of the structures they have built specifically to withstand high heat, they would put the bottles in there and fill them up. The one thing they didn't think about is where the intake for the compressor is to fill the bottles was sitting right next to a truck that they had running. So I ended up having 15 firefighters get carbon monoxide poisoning because their SCBA had CO in it.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. So let's quick those up. So these are the SCBA units here being worn. The there's on the back, front hookup. So that's what we're talking about. So even with that mask, which gives positive air pressure, you were still getting smoke in there.
And at that time, I, of course, didn't have a beard on, because if you have a beard and you try and put a mask on, you don't get a seal. So
yeah, it pisses out. Hey, Mary Beth. Yeah. And so, folks, what I was trying to show with the slides and stuff before, the way the jet stream and the currents work, it is pushing air from the west to the east 90% of the time. And part of that 90% of the time, it may be going as it travels around, but it's it's still generally going in a easterly direction. And I need to find this other one here real quick here that I got from there it is. I got from Martha O'Toole Prepper. Okay, it's loading up here. This one gives you elevations, and I will throw the link to this one here in the chat so everybody can save it and to their favorites. And here we go. All right, so this here has an altitude set on it over here. You get kind of flickering there. Right now it's set for 2 meters above ground. Now look at the pattern there. Now if I go 500 meters above ground, all right, pattern isn't changing all that much. It's speeding up. And if I take it to 1,500 meters, there's a couple of them that are beginning to shift a little bit, but some of the other ones coming down from the Arctic are speeding up, and some of the others over here, and they're taking now up to 3,000 meters. And of course, the temperature is dropping the higher we get up.
You also have to look at the high and low pressure zones as well. Those make a big difference.
Yeah, and so like the circle over Los Angeles has been speeding up. The was interesting is the circle over the Gulf was slowing down the higher I got, but coming down here, around here through the, coming around above Washington and then down in through,
Night, Keith.
Montana, North and South Dakota. It's going more at an southeasterly direction, whereas before it was more north and south. So it's changed direction a little bit. So the flows, as you can see, this gives you a bigger, shows you all the swirls a little bit better than the other one does. And if I go up to, that's 3,000 meters, about 9,000 feet. So I take it up to here. Let's see how much it changes here. See, it really is flattening out. It's dipping down and flattening out, and your swirls are changing patterns and stuff a little bit. But yeah, and the temperatures, yeah, we're down to minus 40 up here, and this is at 5,500 meters, so that's about 16,000 feet. So as you can see, the patterns of it. So we have fires here in California and Oregon. They're going to catch around, whip around the lower side, come back up here through Arizona, New Mexico, and then they're going to head across the southern states. And if it catches right, it may circle around down and come back in again, or it may catch up and take the long route around and come around again that way. So depending where the fires are, dealing with elevation, take it back down to 1,000 meters, 3,000 feet. See how the weather pattern just changed there, and it's coming straight down and back and forth here. So elevation has a lot to do with which way the smoke is going to be blowing at you. Fire.
He dropped the link earlier, Fishes. That last link he dropped was to this.
The last link I dropped was to this one here, and the previous link, the first link was to the Jetstream Winds, which is a run by this one here by weatherstreet.com. That was the first one around, which just kind of just shows the 48 states. But this other one is the one Martha gave me, an old school prepper, runs this weather pattern here, and you can set the elevation to what you want to see, what's going on where.
Oh, Kaylin, there's fires literally on every continent on the face of the planet right now. There is not a continent right now that is not affected by some form of forest fire that's rapidly spreading. Every continent has it.
Yeah, let me current CURR current U.S. fire map. All right, see what we got showing here. All right, so if you want to see what fires are looking right now. So this is current fires for the western United States and some central. This is the 2021 live up feeds. So there's fires in Florida, up in Maine, and
well, don't tell anybody they're down in Florida. Fish will have a canary down there.
But yeah, you can see, and when you zoom it, you can see by the size of the image, the legend here for the size of the images. Some of the big ones up, that's a big one. This is a medium one. This is a small one. So yeah, this is a great one, and there are a lot of different ones you can look at.
Hey, Jay, that's just like asking the CCP if they have toilets in a Capitol building. You're not going to get a straight answer. News out of there and the CCP is near impossible to get anything of validated accuracy.
So yeah, there's a lot of them. You can check with your own state's fire to find out, or you can check with any of them. Say, like if you're in Louisiana and you want to find out what's going on, you go back here, this tab, and you type in Cal Fire maps. It's California forest thing, and they can give you a overview of what's going on Cal Fire, and it takes a minute for it to load, and they list things of incidents going on. You got the Dixie Fire, which is only 31% named as of 7:30 Pacific time. The Caldwell Fire, that was the one my cousin was talking about. Yeah, so it's up to 6,500 acres, zero contained. Glen Fire is 144 acres. And these are just the ones that Cal Fire is dealing with, not the U.S. The Forestry Service. Cal Fire doesn't show Forestry Service fires on their map. You got to go to the U.S. Forestry Service to find out what the national forest fires are doing in California.
Hey Jay, a Tunguska event at the right altitude would actually put the fires out. It would create enough concussive wind to blow them out.
Yep, like a big birthday cake. And so the other one you'd look for here is U.S.
Yes, what Howie's talking about there is, let me touch on Howie's real quick. For those who are unaware of the churches that are burning up in Canada, that has a lot to do with some Native Americans or Native Canadians, sorry. They found grave sites on church property, Catholic church mainly. And at least the article I read, that's what it said. And so that's why a lot of those were burnt. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, and so like here, current large incidents as of today. And so these are the big fires, not the little ones. You can actually drill down to see where all of them are, but it lists all of the different fires. Now, if it says a complex on it, complex is the level 4 incident command. And it is usually where several fires are coming together, or they're in such close proximity, they consolidate the overall command structure for it. So they have one incident commander handling the 4 fires and is allocating equipment to whichever group needs it the most to wind up bringing the whole thing under control better. It's not a simple thing. In law enforcement, we had a big complicated incident going on. We had a saying, fog. Not fog, graph. Grab a firefighter. The fog was field operation guide. So grab a firefighter, because a lot of your firefighters are trained in incident command, whereas police officers aren't. So, but yeah, there's, like I said, we got 108 large incidents going on in the United States right now. Aren't you glad you retired, Bruce?
Absolutely. I got out at the right time.
Yeah.
And just think, folks, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I retired right before all that fun stuff started happening.
Oh, the Red Dragon
in October of 2019. So that was excellent timing on my part.
Yeah. So, so basically, folks, your cloth mask you make and stuff where you buy online, these fancy ones, ain't going to do diddly snot in protecting you from the particles.
Might as well put a paper towel over your face wet. You'll actually get better filtration that way.
Yeah. Even these N95 masks are not, they won't seal up tight enough. They'll stop some, but you'll still be blowing, you can still wind up blowing black snot if you get into some of the heavy stuff I showed in the one, some of the pictures there. And so if you like it, let me get over here. So if you're in an area, and let me go ahead and run this again. So if you're in this area here, and you see all that, and you're down in the area there on it, yeah, that's you're gonna, yeah, a full face respirator is what you really need. You know, if you're downwind on any of these, or you're stuck in the lowland valley with this type air, those are that cloth t-shirt material mask stuff, you know, that everyone's selling with the funny prints on it and stuff. Yeah, ain't gonna do squat in these conditions.
Here's a simple test. Go put some drywall mud on a wall. Put your mask of choice on, and then take a palm sander and sand that drywall off your wall. If you see drywall dust around your nose, that mask ain't going to do you a lick of good.
Yeah. Been there, did that. That's why when I do drywall, I have a I have the half face, total good seal with the 2 filters on the side and positive. I do the positive check on it. And even with that thing, I still get some stuff permeating around after a couple hours of sanding drywall. You know, the only real thing that works good for drywall even is a positive air pressure respirator.
See, that's why you learn when you're doing maintenance, like I did as lead maintenance tech for a while. You learn how to wet sand drywall.
Yeah.
That doesn't help in this case, but you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so the particles and stuff here are really nasty. I'm trying to catch up here.
They're still discussing Canada.
Still discussing Canada over there. Yeah. So anybody have any questions about things they can do to protect themselves from fire smoke? Let everybody think about that for a minute. Questions. Bruce, any advice for people?
Well, if you find yourself in a situation where there's a brush fire and it's actually coming towards you, or it's just going to skirt your house and you're trying to go out there with a hose, it's probably not going to work for you. But if you're going to go out there and try and fight some type of brush fire with your hose, make sure you have denim jeans on, just regular denim jeans. You want 100% cotton fibers, because if one of those ashes from the fire floats up and lands on your leg, or you have a full cotton button down shirt on with long sleeves, if it drops on that, all that it does is it'll lay on there for a couple seconds. You may feel a little warmth, but it will snuff it out on its own. We were required to have, if we didn't have the brush firefighting gear, we had to have blue jeans on with bunker gear boots and some type of cotton button-down shirt that has long sleeves. And that's because that will protect your skin from getting burns from those embers that are floating around. A lot of people don't think about that. You know, they want to get out there, protect their house, and you have a shirt on that's not 100% cotton. Guess what? That will light up like a torch on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad, but yet kind of laugh at those guys out in California standing out there on their balcony in flip-flops wearing nothing but a pair of polyester shorts out there with the garden hose going, I'm protecting my house. You ain't protecting nothing.
All right, to answer Julie's question, it depends on who you talk to. Some people are like, it's just like cars. Well, which is the best car? Well, one person's going to say Ford, another's going to say Dodge, another one's going to say Toyota, another one's going to say Nissan.
Ford.
However, I was fully trained as a hazmat site safety officer in construction. And the company that trained me, and then 2 other companies that I went to for continuing education, all separate companies, all said the same thing. And this was the North, which has since been bought out by Honeywell, but the North brand full face respirator, because you have the air comes in the sides here, through second baffles here, through your nose, to cover your nose and mouth, and then exhale out here. So unless you have a positive, a self-contained breathing apparatus, this is the one they trained us on to has the best one. Now, 3M has a real good one. This is what my son is using for his stuff dealing with mold and mildew and stuff like that for water damage. But there are good ones. They have the separate removable filters off of it and the multiple stage interior. Here you can see the inside port here from around the eyes there. So basically what happens is it draws the air in, the fresh air keeps the goggle lens clean from fogging up, and it goes inside and do it.
Okay, I have to respond to Julie.
Julie,
no, this is the best. Although I can't drive it, it's the best. It's a Mustang.
F-150. I would like to get an F-450 or an F-550, but anyways, as you can see, there are different ones here. Setups. There's 3M. I'm not sure what this one here is. Say whatever PD is. That's a U.S. seller, but that doesn't mean made in the U.S. But I really love my my North full face respirators. Moldex is another one. Yeah, that's it. But these are all NIOSH approved. So if it's NIOSH approved, it is boom. And NIOSH is National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. And they're the ones that set the standards. And that's why on my other one here, switch back here real quick. On this one here, notice there it says NIOSH N95. So they're the ones that set the standards and determine what things are good for. Now, let me go back over here for a second. Like I said, when I was talking about self-contained breathing apparatus, you see the one with the hose here on it that I'm kind of highlighting there? I can't make it come over as a big image because that goes to a sales site. Let's see what happens when I do open it and do the link and see what it showed over there.
Yes, Jack.
It's still loading. But see if they have any other ones here. And there, someone's doing a test to show you where it's supposed to be coming out. This one's not fitting right because it's leaking around the thing when he's blowing out smoke. But I would never take cigarette smoke in there with me.
I take it you missed Jay's question.
What is Jay's question?
He's being a smart aleck, but it's still a question.
Oh, the hypothetical. Yeah, you can cause an EMP at the same time, put the fires out, and just screw everybody's life up. Contaminants.
Hey, hold on. That ain't much different from what we're fixing to be going through with the current administration as it is anyway.
We're not going to go there. All right. So yeah, so this here is a.
That's okay. I will when I get to come back.
Hook it up to an air supply system that's under pressure, and it feeds positive air pressure to you. And there it is. This thing out. So that's only like the price dropped on them. They're becoming more available. Now it's only $200.
Sure. Let me pull that out of my back pocket.
Well, actually, those will also fit into what's called a puffer unit, Gil. We use those on the hazmat team because you don't want to go in with a bottle on if you're going to have to do work for an hour or two. Yeah. You'd have to be running in and out because you got to, when you go in, you use so much of your bottle, then you do your work, and then you have to have enough air to get back out because trust me, you do not want that face mask to suck down onto your face with no air and you still have 200 feet to go.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
And once you're out, you still want to have enough air to go through decontamination because that sucks going through decontamination. All of a sudden, you're just trying to rip off the Tyvek suit and all the other suits, and they're saying, not yet, not yet. We haven't decontaminated you. So washing you down and scrubbing you down.
Hey, Kaylin.
Night, Howie.
Yeah, night, Howie. There are certain Israeli masks that are glasses friendly. I don't know if our military ever did anything proactive toward people who wore glasses or not. As far
Absolutely.
as masks go.
If you get a military mask that's used in the U.S. inventory, they have little inserts that go in the side, and then all you have to do is take the glasses part to your optometrist, have them grind them to your specific prescription. You pop them into these little inserts. They go into the side of the mask here, and then it sits right in front of your eyes so that you can see clearly.
Yeah, the couple of the guys got the old-fashioned glasses that didn't have the wings on them here. They just had the tight nose clip, so you just set it on your nose without the other part, and with the kind of pinched on your nose, and they'd wear those underneath the full-face respirators because that's within the spectrum of the big glass. It sits right on top of the. Show it here.
The other thing you can do is you can put contacts in. Not advised if you're a firefighter, but that's something that you could do civilian wise if you wear glasses and you can't afford to get the inserts, because the inserts do cost like $75 or $80. So if you can get the gas mask in lieu of that, if you have contacts, you can put them on inside. Just make sure when you get out of whatever you need to have the gas mask on for, wash your hands super good, like 3 or 4 times before you try and take those contacts out. Otherwise, all the effort you just took there, you're going to get infected through your eye because the mucous membranes there will carry stuff quickly into your bloodstream.
Hey, Hedgehog.
Hey, Hedgehog. All right. So, what they do, they had those glasses that would sit right above this black rubber here. So it would sit right behind it, and the black rubber kind of held them in place as well. And so, those work too, but they were kind of deaf on wearing contacts on hazmat sites when I went through training. Because they didn't want anybody, messing around with contacts. And they told people, you worked on the site, you don't mess with your contacts for 72 hours afterwards.
Well, and the other thing is with firefighters and EMS and stuff like that, the reason firefighters don't wear contacts or shouldn't wear contacts, because that piece of plastic that's in front of your face on the SCBA, that is not as fire retardant and heat resistant as, say, the bunker jacket is, or your helmet, or all that. That faceplate, that plastic faceplate, will normally break and burn off at about 450 degrees. So that's where it's very incumbent upon the firefighter to know where they are in relationship to the fire. Because if you get too close, and it's happened to instructors at burns at the State Fire Academy in Pennsylvania, they've burned the faceplate out of their mask and it just flashes on them. Boom, they're gone, because you're putting oxygen into your face. You're in a fire environment. That pops, boom, you're gone. You're toast.
Yeah. The other thing with it is, the best thing at all, if you're out where you have acreage and you're going to be fighting a fire on your property, best thing to do is what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Your defensible space. Make sure you have plenty of defensible space. You get rid of everything so you don't have to go out there and fight on your property. You want your property to, do the fighting for you, to clear it off land and everything. And we have hit the 8 o'clock hour here in California. So we're going to wrap this up here. Guys, if you have any more questions or something, fire me an email. If I don't know the answer, I'll check with Bruce and some other friends that are still in at the fire department in Contra Costa County, and I will get the answer for you. All right. Coming up on Friday night in the homestead, the topic is going to be fencing. What's your choice? We're going to talk about fencing, the different types of fencing you use on a homestead or normal property, especially even if you're in the city and you have some chickens, what type of fencing you want to use for keeping the chickens safe. And so we're going to be talking about that on Friday. And the next Tuesday here is going to be which pet is right for you. All right. And we're not talking about
Belgian Malinois.
I got a pet chicken. No, we're talking about,
Belgian Malinois.
I was going to say St. Bernard, but I don't like the slobber.
No, I want a Belgian Malinois that's been trained by the police for one simple reason. When given the proper command, it'll sit there absolutely stone cold quiet, not make a sound, not move until you utter the right command.
Yep. There were some of the coolest dogs. That there were the crud, not German Shepherds, not Rottweilers.
Thinking about the Grand Pyrenees.
No, they were for the sniffing dogs.
Oh, that's
I just
the
lost
bloodhounds.
Huh?
The bloodhounds.
Not the bloodhound. These are the ones used for sniffing out. They can be trained for either drugs. They can be trained for explosives.
Most any dog. Doberman Pinschers can be trained for it. German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois. It all depends on what who's training them and what they're being trained for.
Yeah.
Virtually any breed of dog can be trained for it. Some are a little more adept at it, but
these were really adept. And that's why DHS, TSA, Customs were all going for their for the explosive sniffing.
But here's also the side to that too. If you're going to get a dog, any kind of large breed dog, make sure you understand its habits and its needs. If you live down in Florida, don't go get an Alaskan Malamute. The dogs can't handle the heat. Their coats are designed for cold weather.
Or a husky.
Okay. Well, even most huskies really can't take the heat down in Florida, the humidity. Their coats can't deal with it. They're a cold weather dog.
Yeah.
Now you get a nice short hair like a Doberman Pinscher or an American German Shepherd. They can handle the heat a far lot better than the winter type dogs, ones that are designed to be living way up of our border. So make sure you
got
do
it.
some research.
Nail on the head. A Shih Tzu drug dog. There you go. You'll probably get that in the mail shortly there, Gil.
No, it's just that I just remembered a post on Facebook that showed a Shih Tzu, and it said, "This is a Shih Tzu." And then it said that below it had a picture of certain political people and says, "This is a SHIZOO." So, all righty. So we're going to wrap it up here, folks. And so that's what's coming up here. Hey, Mouse Toes. So we got fencing on Friday. Which pet is right for you on next Tactical Tuesday? And I got to be shifting some. I got some requests. I'm going to be shifting things around after the 27th. Some things are going to be shifting around because people are requesting certain things. So I move requests. If you want a certain topic, either here on Tactical Tuesday or on Friday night on the Homestead, if you email me about it, I'll be more than happy to put it up there. We haven't touched on that topic before, and if it's been quite a while, I'll put it up. But so I'm shifting things around to meet requests by you, our faithful followers. And so we're going to wrap it up here now. Any last words, Dave or Bruce?
I'll do something as soon as I get out of YouTube jail.
All righty, folks. As always, everyone, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't do anything foolish or stupid. And most of all, stay prepared. All right? Take care.